Hello everyone! Heartcloud Productions here, and I'm back with another Bob the Builder review. It's been a couple of months since my last Bob the Builder episode review because I've been making videos revolving around Has-Been Hotel around that time, after the video came out. I made a couple of AMVs, I made a ranking video on all of the songs of Season 1, and I even made a ranking video on Angel Dust's outfits. And I thought about going back to Bob the Builder and reviewing another episode that I thought would be worth talking about. I started the poll again to see which character spotlight episode I review next. And the winner was surprisingly the fun and mucky red digger dumper, Muck. Muck to me is probably my least favorite member of the Can-Do crew. Don't get me wrong, I love the messy but always hard-working jokester Muck is in the series. Always being stubborn that he prefers to be dirty rather than getting cleaned, and has a rather adorable and mischievous sibling relationship with Dizzy. Being relatable with his understandable but strange fear of the dark, strangely being different genders throughout the two English dubs, and has the brilliant catchphrase of "Muck to the rescue!" He may not be my favorite out of the 5 machines, but I really do like Muck quite a bit, and is memorable enough for me to appreciate him as a part of the main cast. So I decided to review my favorite Muck-centered episode in my personal opinion. But all of you are probably wondering, instead of picking a random standout episode, what is my favorite Muck-centered episode? Well, it's very simple actually. It's the Season 3 episode, Mucky Muck. Yeah, Liam Fitzgerald did a review on this episode being his favorite Muck-centered episode on his YouTube channel, but I don't care. I'm going to review it anyway because it is my favorite as well. So with all that said, let's dive into the episode Mucky Muck to see why it is my favorite Muck-centered episode. Mucky Muck is the second episode of the 3rd season, and it first debuted on March 20th, 2000. In Mucky Muck, Rolly and Dizzy are stuck at the yard when it is raining outside. Bob returned to the yard with Scoop and Muck as they got themselves all muddy, to which the red digger dumper liked getting himself dirty. Meanwhile, Wendy checks on Farmer Pickles' home with Lofty to see that his drain pipe has a crack in it, and she needs to replace the guttering pipe. The rain stopped, and Bob gave Scoop a wash, making Muck stubborn enough to not want to be cleaned. In the countryside, Travis got himself stuck in the mud as he couldn't get himself out. Spud then dashes off to get Farmer Pickles. After Scoop is washed, Muck is next, but he didn't want to get washed, so he tried to let Rolly go first, but Bob ain't having his excuse. But then Bob got a phone call that Travis is stuck in the mud, and he wants Muck to pull him out. The red digger dumper felt relieved that he could stay mucky. Dizzy wants to join on the rescue mission, so she goes along with Muck while carrying the rope. Muck successfully pulls Travis out of the mud, and Bob wants to check on Wendy with her task of fixing Farmer Pickles' guttering pipe. Dizzy comments to Muck that he is even more dirty, and then the two decide to play in the mud together, not without Spud joining in on the fun. Bob and Farmer Pickles went to go see Wendy as she fixed his guttering pipe. Bob checked to see if Muck was behind Travis, but he wasn't there. Wendy assumes that he is up to mischief. As Muck, Dizzy, and Spud had fun with their mud pie fight, they eventually got caught. Bob came up with an idea to clean the 3, so he told them that there is a surprise waiting for them at Farmer Pickles' yard. The 3 closed their eyes as they waited for their surprise. Dizzy feels something tickling her as Wendy washes the orange cement mixer with soap and water. Dizzy's giggling made Muck excited about the surprise, until he realizes that he's getting washed. Muck doesn't like it, but Bob washed him whenever he likes it or not, while giving Spud a laugh. Spud tried to escape getting a wash himself, but then collapsed into a puddle of mud as it made his parsnip nose all crooked. I can totally see why Liam Fitzgerald called this episode his favorite revolving around Muck, because it really does a great job expanding on the character for the audience to get to know him more. How he likes to get all muddy and doesn't like getting himself cleaned. Muck was great in this episode for showcasing his love for getting dirty and how he just doesn't care about getting cleaned. Despite being all dirty, I like how Muck is still hardworking no matter what, even when he is willing to pull Travis out of the mud. Although I do find it interesting that his love for getting dirty can result in a character flaw for him. That character flaw is of him not caring about his personal hygiene. Muck is just the inverse of James the Red Engine from Thomas and Friends. But other than that, I do like how Muck's liking of being mucky can come with a bad side effect when it comes to his appearance if he doesn't get washed. And I do like how Muck's stubborn nature of refusing to get cleaned does feature in future episodes, so this won't be the last time. Overall, Muck is just as fun-loving as always when it comes to him getting all mucky. But I do like how this positive trait of himself can be a bad thing to himself if he doesn't like getting washed. Dizzy was also great in the episode, as she has fun getting herself dirty alongside Muck and then soon Spud. She might have been denied to play in the rain by Bob at the beginning of the episode, but she does now by being mucky with Muck. Speaking of the duo, I adore Muck and Dizzy's close friendship in the series because I always see the two as mischievous siblings who would get themselves into shenanigans. But they do try their best to complete the jobs together, even if their ideas might not be the best. As Liam Fitzgerald likes to call them, the two devils of the Can-Do crew. The two playing in the mud and having mud pie fights with Spud was fun to watch, and seeing them progressively get more muddy as time went on. Dizzy lying across the mud like a pig got me laughing because she is that small to get herself even more muddy. Something Muck would totally be into. And I do like how Dizzy doesn't back away from being washed when Muck straight up doesn't like to be washed, giving the two a subtle difference between them. I like Dizzy in this episode, and I adore the brother and sister dynamic between her and Muck in the episode. This episode has some pretty iconic moments that I want to go over, such as its self-awareness of describing the character of Muck. What I mean is that the audience learns why the Red Digger Dumper is called Muck in the first place. He likes to get muddy, and he likes to be called Mucky Muck. Even Rolly knows why he is called Muck.
Oh, I don't want to be washed, Rolly. I love being mucky.
Yeah, that's why you're called Muck, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
They even made a self-aware joke in the middle by having Muck calling out the episode's title.
Look at you, Muck. You're really dirty.
I'm Mucky Muck.
I just had to do this joke because I honestly couldn't resist myself. The episode is also pretty funny at times, and it comes from the moments where Muck is trying to figure out ways to get himself to not get washed, until karma gets to him when he gets washed at the end of the episode. For example, Muck uses Rolly as a freebie ticket to get him washed instead of him, and it failed.
You go first.
I'm not muddy. Oh, yeah, I get it. Can I go next, please, Bob?
You?
Oh, nice try, Muck. You're not frightened of a bit of water, are you?
No, of course not.
Even Bob could see that the Red Digger Dumper is so stubborn to not be washed. The ending was hilarious as well for how Muck was forced to be washed. The ending punchline by Spud trying to escape from getting washed as well was funny, as he winds up bending his nose as he collides into a mud puddle.
What? Oh no, oh no, oh! Ah! Oh no, my nose. Has anybody got a fresh parsnip?
Spud sounded so disappointed that I found the punchline so hilarious. It just feels like a regular occurrence for him to get his parsnip nose all messed up. Oh, Spud. Even if you might not like getting yourself washed by Farmer Pickles, but I don't think being covered in soap suds is a bad idea. Overall, Mucky Muck is such an iconic episode from the 3rd season that is totally entertaining to watch due to the comedy and also giving the audience insight on why Muck is named the way he is in the series. Muck was great in the episode for how we as the audience know what he is as a character, while also laughing at his stubbornness of not getting cleaned. Dizzy was a fun-loving sister figure to Muck, and the self-awareness moments were subtle and great depictions of what makes Muck, Muck. A very memorable episode from start to finish. I give Mucky Muck my highest score, a 10 out of 10. This episode is one of my top favorites of the series for how memorable it is to watch, and I certainly would put it in my top 10 favorite Bob the Builder episodes. If you enjoyed the review, press the like button and comment down below your opinions of the episode in the comment section down below. It felt good reviewing an episode of Bob the Builder again because I really do need a short break doing Has-Been Hotel videos. I'll do another review of an episode in the future if I have time within the summer, but you all just have to wait and see. Up next, I have another Has-Been Hotel ranking video in the works, so keep on a lookout for it when that comes. This is Heart Cloud Productions, and I'll see you all later!